So far, I published 2 books. I'm basically a fiction author, but somehow I ended up writing a nonfiction book. So, Four Doors and Other Stories is the title of my short story collection. This one is traditionally published. And then I chose Love, A Journey from Fear to Love. That's my nonfiction book, which I chose to self-publish. Love is the theme in everything I do. I mean, my writing, working with other authors, that's the foundation in everything. So, of course, the writing a nonfiction book is different than writing a fiction book, but and especially with a novel, and now I'm also working on 2 novels. So on my novels, I outline first, and then I start writing. But with those 2 books, it was all kind of a download. So with the short story collection, I had this idea, oh, I would like to write a collection of short stories about love. And I had a working title like 20 Love Stories. And then I just sat down and I started writing. And I remember one day, I'm really a morning person, so I like writing in the morning. And I remember one morning it was 11, and for some reason I still hadn't put one word on paper, and I was like kind of mad at myself, and I had no ideas of what to do. And I just sat on the couch in the living room, and I just let my imagination just wander, and I said, oh, what if I turn into a small person and I would put myself into an envelope, and then I would end up in a mailbox, and I would hear all the other envelopes like speaking in different voices. And that kind of led me into writing one of the stories. It's called The Postman Story, that ended up in the book. And with the other one, with my nonfiction book, that was 2015, and that was a real transformational year for me. It was a year also when, the whole world was kind of shocked at all those different violent events, mass shootings, and happening all over the world, the US, Europe as well. And I kind of, one day I woke up with this idea, well, actually, how can we overcome fear? So love is the only way. And in 1 month, the book was done. I chose Love. So yeah, like the first draft, and I just knew, okay, so this is my message. These are the steps people can take to overcome fear, and I just wrote it. And I decided to self-publish it because the same year, 2015, I was at the London Book Fair, and that's when I realized like self-publishing is getting like more and more traction and can be a great avenue for authors who have an entrepreneurial mindset and who want to be full-time authors and also have control over the process. So yeah, I think for me, like the writing process is being into that magic space where ideas and words just flow to me and just allow them to come into my space. And when with the publishing, with how those 2 books came into being published, so with Four Doors and Other Stories, that was really synchronistic. I went again, the London Book Fair 2012. I had a portfolio of four short stories and one and my bio. And I had an appointment with one literary agent, and it turned out that she wasn't interested in short stories. And then, as I was walking, I just realized I was walking around and I was looking at the booth. There was this giant poster of J.K. Rowling, and there were all these big publishers, but I kept on returning to the same booth, and I said, okay, something must be here. So I left them my portfolio, and 2 days later they called me and they offered me a contract for that short story collection. So that's how I ended up being published with a traditional publisher in the UK. So everything is possible when it's meant to be, and you believe in yourself and in your talent and in your book. And with I Choose Love, yeah, it was just, okay, let's see how self-publishing goes. And I think that for authors, nonfiction authors who have a business, who are coaches, who are experts in a field, I think that self-publishing can work very well, because you already have a network, right? You do all these events, you have these speaking engagements, so you can bring your books, and you can make, like, when you publish with, like Amazon, even the paperback, you will get 60%, I mean, of sales on Amazon as a self-published authors, and you can order, let's say, your copy for $3, and at an event sell it for 13. So you can do the math and see